A 70-ton machine, moving at 70 kilometers per hour, with a cannon that can destroy another tank from 3 kilometers away, before that tank even sees it coming. Tanks changed warfare forever, and throughout history, 5 of them stood above everything else. This is the definitive ranking, the top 5 most powerful tanks ever built. Let's get into it. Before we start, I want to be clear about how we're ranking these. It's not just firepower. It's not just armor. We're looking at combat performance, technological breakthrough, and real battlefield impact. A tank that won battles ranks higher than a tank that looked good on paper. Keep that in mind, because number 1 is going to surprise you. Number 1. The most technologically advanced tank ever built, the T-14 Armata, Russia, 2015. Every tank on this list, including the Abrams and the Leopard, shares one fundamental design philosophy: put the crew in the turret. The people who aim and fire the gun sit directly inside the most exposed part of the tank. The T-14 said no. For the first time in tank history, the T-14 moved the entire crew, all 3 of them, into an armored capsule underneath the hull. The turret is completely unmanned, operated remotely. If the turret gets destroyed, the crew survives. But that's just the beginning. The T-14 has an active protection system called Afghanet. It uses radar to detect incoming missiles and rockets, and fires countermeasures to destroy them before they reach the tank. Rocket-propelled grenades, anti-tank missiles. The Afghanet intercepts them mid-air. Its 2A82-1M cannon fires a new generation of rounds 30% more powerful than the Leopard's gun. Its AI-assisted targeting system can identify, classify, and track targets automatically. The gunner confirms, the system fires. On paper, the T-14 Armata is a generation ahead of everything else on this list. But here's the uncomfortable truth. As of today, the T-14 has never been used in real combat. Russia promised 2,300 units. The actual number produced is estimated at fewer than 40. The technology exists. The production does not. And in war, a tank that doesn't exist on the battlefield doesn't win battles. That's the paradox of number 1. Number 2. The tank that most military experts consider the finest in the world today. The Leopard 2A7. Germany, 2014. While the Abrams wins on combat history, the Leopard 2A7 wins on pure capability. Its Rheinmetall 120mm smoothbore cannon is the most accurate tank gun ever produced. In NATO trials, it consistently hit stationary targets at 5 kilometers, nearly double the range of most tank engagements. Moving targets at 3 kilometers? Routine. The A7 variant added urban warfare capability, reinforced belly armor against IEDs, 360-degree situational awareness cameras, and a commander's independent thermal sight that allows the commander and gunner to track 2 different targets simultaneously. 19 countries operate the Leopard 2. When NATO needed to send tanks to Ukraine in 2023, the Leopard 2 was the unanimous choice. So why is it number 2 and not number 1? Because the tank sitting at number 1 didn't just improve on existing technology, it reinvented what a tank can be. Number 3. The tank that has been tested in 4 wars and never lost one. The M1 Abrams, United States, 1980. In the Gulf War, 1991, American Abrams tanks engaged Iraqi forces equipped with Soviet T-72s, considered at the time one of the world's best tanks. The result? The US destroyed over 3,300 Iraqi armored vehicles. American losses? 9 Abrams, and most of those were from friendly fire, not enemy action. The Abrams runs on a jet turbine engine, same technology as a fighter jet. It can go from 0 to 30 kilometers per hour in under 7 seconds. Its depleted uranium armor doesn't just stop shells, it absorbs and disperses the energy. Its targeting system can lock onto and fire at a moving target while the Abrams itself is moving at full speed, in the dark. But the most remarkable thing about the M1 Abrams, it was designed in the Cold War, and it's still the most combat-proven tank on Earth today, more than 40 years later. That's not a tank, that's a masterpiece of engineering. Number 4. The tank that actually won World War II. The T-34, Soviet Union, 1940. When German generals first captured a T-34 in 1941, they were shocked. Sloped armor that deflected shells instead of absorbing them. A design concept German engineers hadn't even considered. A wide track that moved through mud and snow that stopped German panzers cold. But here's what made the T-34 truly legendary. It wasn't one tank. It was 84,000 tanks. The Soviets built more T-34s than any other tank in history. They were simple enough that factory workers with no engineering background could assemble them in days. When Germany bombed Soviet factories, the Soviets dismantled them, moved them east past the Ural Mountains, and rebuilt them in the middle of winter, and kept producing. At the Battle of Kursk in 1943, the largest tank battle in history, over 6,000 tanks clashed. The T-34 was the backbone of the Soviet force. Germany never recovered from that defeat. The T-34 didn't win because it was the best tank. It won because there were always more of them. That's a different kind of power. Number 5. The tank that gave Allied soldiers nightmares. The Tiger I, Germany, 1942. When the Tiger I first appeared on the battlefield, Allied commanders didn't believe the reports. A tank that their standard weapons couldn't penetrate. A tank that could destroy a Sherman from over a kilometer away, while the Sherman had to get within 100 meters just to have a chance. The numbers: 88mm cannon, 100mm of frontal armor, nearly 4 inches of solid steel, weighed 57 tons. At the time, nothing came close. In North Africa, a single Tiger I held off an entire British armored column for hours. In one engagement in 1943, Tiger commander Otto Carius destroyed over 150 Soviet tanks with a single Tiger, without losing his own. So why is it only number 5? Because it had a fatal weakness. It broke down, constantly, complex to maintain, slow to produce. Germany built only 1,347 Tigers during the entire war. The Soviets were producing 1,200 T-34s every single month. Fearsome in combat, unsustainable in war. That's why it's 5. So, which tank actually wins? If you need a tank today, in a real war, you take the M1 Abrams. Battle-tested, proven, lethal. 40 years of upgrades and 4 wars of experience behind it. If you need the most precise weapon system, you take the Leopard 2A7. The engineer's choice, the tactician's dream. If you're thinking about the future of warfare, the T-14 Armata is the blueprint. If Russia ever solves its production problem, the battlefield changes overnight. And if you want to understand how we got here, how a 57-ton German tank in 1942 eventually led to an unmanned AI-assisted turret in 2015, then you're watching the right channel. The tank didn't just change warfare, it defined it. That's the top 5 most powerful tanks in history. If you think I got the ranking wrong, tell me in the comments. I read every single one. If you want the full story of the T-14 Armata, why Russia can't build enough of them, and what that means for the next world conflict, that video is right up there. Subscribe if you're new. New video every Sunday and Tuesday. This is War Factor. See you next time.